Live and recording in progress.
Ta-da!
And hit a little refresh here on my page so I can make sure I share it with the world. I'm going to share this right now.
That's what I'm going to do too.
Welcome to another episode of
Scrutiny with Cheri and Andy.
I'm Andy Vargo, and this is my bestie,
Cheri Hardman. We decided to do something.
Yeah?
Andy Vargo and I will do anything for attention.
Yes, we will.
I'll tell you what I did. My nails, my hair, and my nails, my hair.
You gotta give yourself credit for all the things you do.
I'll tell you what I did earlier, later.
Now I don't know when it'll happen.
Earlier. And we're here to discuss my nails, my hair, and
Being the best at no matter what it is that you're doing. Now I don't know when it'll happen. Always a pleasure to see you, Miss Cheri.
You too. But what I was going to say to you before we got in here.
Oh, yeah, you were about
And then
to
I
say
said, I'll just wait. Is I came in this room. I've been in the best mood today. It's sunny out. We had a birthday party for me at work. I'm just like happy. And then I came in here and started doing my computer stuff.
Mhm.
And just for an hour. And as the hour dragged on, I'm like, oh, I'm so tired. So
Right.
I got to remember that like after a certain amount of time, if I have to do stuff on here, that I need to stop and recalibrate and get some energy, because I was like, I don't want to do this podcast. I'm tired.
I read this book years ago when I was on this quest to, be a better employee about a job I didn't give a shit about.
Mhm.
But it was about like how we're working wrong. And the book was really helpful, actually, but it was talking about working in waves and how we work in productivity waves. And it was the thing it was leading towards was that we work really well in 90-minute cycles. So if you do something for 90 minutes, then stop and do something a little more active,
That
wave
makes
arms around, go for a walk, whatever, get outside, then have a snack and a drink of water, then come back and hyper focus for another 90 minutes, because it takes us a certain amount of time to get into that task. And then we really get into that space, but then we get to the point where we start losing productivity. So we have to break it again. And when I applied that during that time frame, I really felt very productive and actually felt good.
don't.
And so I should almost reread that book, or maybe find some snippets and at least get the quotes and the basics of it, because it was very helpful when I did that.
Yeah, why don't you do that?
Okay, I'll be
Like
back.
a homework assignment, so that I can know exactly the real thing. Because I do have bouts of sleepiness, but I will admit that I started out this week's Diary of an Ex-Ho. I have all the YouTubes preloaded,
Yeah, that's great.
so that's nice. But then I still have to do the podcast and the Instagram. I could probably load the podcast. I just haven't looked into that yet. So I have to load them by hand,
Right.
and I didn't do it yesterday. So I knew I had to do it today. So I did that, did a couple other things. And then I started shopping and trying to make a nail appointment, and the lash girl's not going to be there. And so I was just being frivolous, and
Yeah.
then I just lost my focus and I all went to hell.
Yeah. I have 3 episodes. I just finished recording another one right before we got on this. I have 3 On Your Awkward podcasts recorded that I need to edit and publish. And I need to get one done right away to be on track. But it is definitely, it's one of those things where it's like, I got to get back on that. Having them preloaded, because it feels really good when you have them preloaded and you're 3 or 4 weeks out, and you know that on that day all you have to do is go share it and say, hey, it's done, and it just feels really good.
Yeah, well, every time I do one, there's like so many steps, because I have to do a cover screen and an end screen, and convert it into all the different, whether it's going to be audio or like, if you put your regular one on Instagram, it cuts it off. So I have to resize it to fit Instagram,
Yeah.
So
Well,
there's several steps to it. So it does help to just do them right away and not leave them sitting. So,
yeah. And I only have one more podcast recording scheduled, which will keep me busy up until the 21st of June. However, I need to get some more on the books
yeah,
because that is
that's where I'm at too. Yeah.
that's going to be the thing, and it keeps you going.
Did you know that Allison? Wait a minute. Cheryl said, "Is there no one else?
Mhm.
No one else." I know Allison said she was going to track you down because you need to call her or
Oh,
something.
did I miss something?
I don't know.
I
She
don't know.
said that today when I was
Let me
saying
see.
that we were going to do scrutiny. She's like, "Oh, well, I'm going to interrupt your podcast because Andy needs to call me," or something like that. Like, I read it like she's been trying to get a hold of you and you've been ignoring her, but who knows? Who knows?
Um, let me
For some reason, I can see the comments today.
I don't know. Oh, well, that's nice. I'll have to look into that. I don't know. I've been on the run a lot the last couple days, and I know, blah blah blah.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe she just wants to get a hold of you. So,
Well, I don't know if I have her number. I'll have to see. Let me see here. Oh, she sent me a message. Can you call me? Yes, I'll have to give her a call.
okay.
But
Well, I don't know what you girls have to talk about that you
I
can't
don't know.
in front of me,
But
but so
well, we don't want to talk about you in front of you.
you did the open mic Tuesday night, Wednesday night,
Last night. Yeah,
and how was it?
it was good. It's a lot of new comedians that I don't know. There were a few that I haven't seen for a while. I saw Josh and Jose Dirtiano was there.
Oh wow, I
He
haven't
didn't
seen
show up.
him. Just
Yeah, he just went to hang out. He
oh,
wasn't getting up, but it was really good to see him. And I saw Tommy T. He was the first comedian up. So it was cool to see some people I haven't seen for a while.
right.
There were a couple others that I don't know as well, but that I haven't seen for a while that were on. And so that was good. Jeremiah Hughes was hosting it. He did a great job. And Mr. Mookie was closing out. So that was fun.
Did you stay for the whole thing?
I stayed almost till the end, but I was kind of running out of energy by the end of the night. So I missed the last couple, but my set was okay. I'm challenging myself to try new stuff every time I go to an open mic. So that makes it less of a good set.
Right.
That's what the mic is for.
Right.
So,
I know that's why I haven't been going to any because I need to write some new stuff.
yeah. So, I did a couple jokes I've done before, and I fooled around with some jokes that I have tried but haven't been happy with, just to find the right flow. So it feels good just to mess around with that. I'm up again next Wednesday, so I'll be there again next Wednesday night, and I'll try a little bit different take on what I did, and or
Oh,
something.
you're up again? Yeah.
Yeah.
3 this month.
Yeah, it's 3 spots this month. I missed the cutoff to sign up for June again. So
Always do.
which is fine because June is actually a pretty busy month for me. So I don't know. I would have probably only had 1 or 2 that I could have signed up for. I may drop in and throw a name in the bucket, but I don't always like to do that because then I feel like a jerk if I don't stay in case they pull my name out halfway through.
All right. Let's talk about our show Monday night.
Yeah, Monday night was a fun show.
I thought it was really fun. I don't know about anybody else. No, I think those people had fun that were there.
Yeah, and it's every time you do the Unmentionable show, it really does. The crowd gets involved, and we had a new performer for the first time this show.
Oh, you are talking about me.
Yep, I'm talking about you. Cheri played her own game. That was
I
fun.
know. Because I made the game, I can't give myself the words that I'm not allowed to say because I know what all the words are. So I gave Andrew Vargo here the task of coming up with the words for me. And boy, oh boy, did you pick some good ones like or okay,
Okay,
all the
guys.
things that I say all the time. So
I know. I actually was watching a couple of your sets, and I was looking for things that you say as your filler words instead of the
I
things that are in your
know,
show.
yeah. So I was spinning that wheel like crazy. So it was fun. But I think the wheel, I need to like recalibrate it or move some stuff around because it seems to land on props more than it lands on the non-prop ones.
Interesting.
So which is fine, but we had a good time. And I do love that the audience always has fun with us. It's
Yeah.
very unstructured.
Hmm.
The show, I mean, it has a structure to it, but it's very free. There's like a little bit of lag time, because like we're changing the things on the wall, on the wheel, and we don't lose anybody during that time, which is
Yeah,
great
yeah, it stays pretty good. So that's
because we
good.
just kind of keep chatting with everybody. And
Mhm.
yeah, so, but what's funny is that guy that came up and said that stuff to me. I don't know if I told you totally. I put it on Facebook. And then the next morning he friended me and I'm like, oh shit. So I took it all off.
Oh no, I don't know if I saw it.
So that one guy came up to me and he said, my girlfriend thinks I have a crush on you.
Oh, okay.
But I told her it's not really that. It's just that I really like your energy and I like the way that you are and I like everything about you and I like the way you're funny and I like the way you make everyone laugh and I love your energy. But I don't have a crush on you, but I know every guy in this place wants you.
It
And
sounds like a
she's
crush.
and she's peeking around the corner, seeing him talk to me. And I'm like, well, yeah, good luck talking your girlfriend into you not having a crush on me using those words that you just said to me.
Right.
And
I'm
yeah,
just fascinated by your energy
and
and
then first thing the next morning, he friend requests me. So it was cute.
yeah.
Um, he was just having a good time. He was having a good time. So that
Nice.
was kind of funny, but then that made me realize, okay, do not say stuff about audience members because they may come the next day and look at your Facebook
They
page.
may be following you. Yeah, I've had some things that I have really wanted to say and share that are from experiences where it's like, guess what just happened? But I know that me saying, guess what just happened is probably going to be seen by who it just happened with or about, or.
Did I tell you about a thing? I don't think I told you this, but and I'll have to tell you. So yesterday I went out to check the mail. I'm driving my scooter down the street, and someone driving by looks exactly like somebody that I told you that I had a dream about recently. And I'm like, is this person like, okay, is this person stalking me? Because there would be no other reason for this person to drive on this street.
Right.
Or am I just losing my mind and I think that everybody looks like this person and it's not even this person? I don't know. I'll tell you about it later. But
Our brains also have a way of really messing with us too. Like they just
right.
seek out what we're focusing on and they block out what we're not, which there's science behind that. I believe it.
I
And
think we're looking for the familiar,
yeah.
because I know like when I'm in Vegas, I am always thinking that I see people that I know. And
Hmm.
then I realize I don't know, I'm in Vegas. I'm not at home. That's not.
Yeah, I had a couple conversations earlier in the week and I had a couple things and I think I've had nightmares every day this week just from stirring things up. And then it's like, God, make it stop. And then I think, okay, cool, I'm past it. And the nice thing is now that when I get in this space, it doesn't hold me down as much. It's like I come up for air and I can at least stay up for air the rest of the day. And then it kind of catches me off guard again when it happens the next night, but I'm not, it's like, oh, you know what? This is a place where my mind is revisiting or working through something, but I know that it just needs to get sorted out in my head, and then I will be back to maybe a couple months without nightmares, or a month, or who knows. But at least I'm not where I used to be, where it was like, is this ever going to end? This is
Mhm.
my life forever. And yeah, the brain just, it's like, hurry up and get through your crap and let's move on.
Yeah, brains are a fascinating thing. Although, I was saying that when I'm out of town, I always think I see people that. One
Mhm.
time I was at Disneyland,
Okay.
actually Disney's California Adventure, and I look over and I'm like, that looks like my Uncle Kurt. I'm like, oh, there's no way that's my Uncle Kurt. You know, Guess
Hmm.
what? It was my Uncle Kurt. I found out that they were in
Wow,
Disneyland that day, and I could have just gone over there and said hello. So
that's so funny.
yeah.
Wow,
So anyway, the show was fun.
it
Um,
was.
I
People
have no.
saying happy birthday to Cheri.
Yeah, that's the second birthday party I've had, and my birthday's not even till Monday, so that
Wow.
was cool. Thank you for the cupcakes. Everybody did a great job. I think that show's so much fun. I could think you could just not even be a comedian and go up there and play it, and it would be
Right.
fun. Hmm,
Yeah, that's actually, yeah.
not a bad idea. We
You
could
could even do
auction
that with,
off, but
yeah, you could, I was thinking about that, like with Toastmasters, or where people are giving a speech, you could have something where you make it into a game like that.
right.
Um,
Go ahead.
no, that's exciting. I feel good about that. I am speaking of Toastmasters, I just now remembered I'm giving a speech tonight,
Have
which
you written the speech?
I always have some in my back pocket. Like I have some that I've been working on, and I just hadn't decided which one I want to do. However, tomorrow I'm speaking at the School of Intuitive Leadership. It's an online thing. Anybody can join. There's a link on my page. I've posted it several times. It's on my story right now on my Own Your Awkward page. So I think what I may do is practice part of tomorrow morning's speech for tonight.
Might as well. He's like double dipping.
Yep. It's the good, the bad, and the awkward.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's going to be somewhat interactive. We're having a conversation tomorrow about, how to live your best life, be your best self, kind of the sum of all the things that I talk about. But it's kind of cool to be invited as a guest lecturer or speaker to
Right.
this gal who puts on this school. She works with a lot of businesses and just does an amazing job. And so it's an honor to be included. And I feel like it's that you have the act, or the person who's coming to perform, and then you have the venue or the producer, and I feel like both have just as much pressure to bring a crowd. Like
Mhm.
when you're a comedian showing up, it's like you want to be like, I brought people in for you. And then when
Right.
the producer and the comedians are showing up, you're like, oh,
Got an audience for you. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm hoping that that some folks show up to join, and it's 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. It's people who put it on are in different time zones, so it's noon Eastern time, which means I need to make sure that I am spry in the morning and
Right.
ready to be doing this. So
Cool.
yeah. So what's
Uh,
the next thing you ate this week?
I'm going to say that the best thing I ate this week was something that I made myself and served today at my birthday party, which is dog food dip.
Dog food dip. What is in dog food dip? Because I heard that and I'm like,
It's, well, it looks like dog food, but it's
ugh,
ground beef,
okay.
cream of mushroom soup, onions, Velveeta cheese, and jalapenos. And you
Which,
dip tortilla chips in it, and it's really good.
okay.
Even like the kids, some of the kids were like, "Oh, I don't like mushroom soup." Like I told them, like, don't tell them it has mushroom soup in it because then they won't eat it,
Just eat it. Yeah.
But it was like this. So one kid's like, no, I don't want it. But then he heard all the other kids talking about how good it was. So he's like, okay, I'll just try some on one chip. And then he looks at me, he's like, that's good. Another kid came in and the other boys have been telling him how good it was. And he just like, he's eating his taco and everything first. And then he takes a bite of it. And then he turns and looks at me like, this shit slaps really hard, you know.
Oh my God, that's funny. It slaps really hard. That's awesome.
So but here's the deal. I used to
Mhm,
make that for Noah.
oh, nice.
Noah loved that, and I remember just feeling sad, like I'll probably never make dog
Mm,
food dip again, you know. And then it was
yeah,
like, I'll bring some for the kids because whenever I have, they've always loved it, and so they loved it. So it made me feel good,
that's good.
mom, almost, you know.
Yeah.
So, and it's
No.
delicious. What was the best thing you ate?
Well, first of all, I just want to say the dog food dip. I have a hard time getting over food that mimics other food. So it would really confuse me. And I would be like, is it really dog food? Like, I don't like eating food that pretends to be other foods. Like when it's a cheeseburger pizza or a taco pizza or like any of that, I'm like, just make it what it's supposed to be and stop messing with my head. But anyway, enough said. Or like when they have those cakes for Halloween that look like a kitty litter pan. And
Yeah, that's
like,
yeah.
anyway, so the best thing I had this week, I went across the street to a pizza. It's like and then the word pizza, a pizza. It's a new Italian restaurant down on Pacific Avenue, across the street from Dorky's. So it's right just at the corner. It's like one business in on the corner of 9th and Pacific. And Marshall, who owns the place, nicest guy. He's been working on it for almost 2 years, getting that place open. And they sell pizza by the slice. So I went over and bought a couple slices of pizza and
What
brought it
kind?
back. I don't know. So I bought, so one was
It
a,
was so good. I don't know what it was though.
well, so one was a like kind of a supreme style with
Right.
veggies and stuff. One was a chicken with a white sauce on it. And then another one was a meat lovers, which I gave somebody else because I told them I would just go pick up a slice for them. And
Right.
I just bought one of each kind they had in the window and said, here, you take which one you want. But it's delicious. You just go in, you grab your slice, they heat it up for you. And they've got a lot of stuff. They have gelato. They have some pretty nice stuff on the menu that if you'd want to get an entree.
Never had gelato.
Neither have I.
I don't know
I
if
don't
I would like it. I don't know if it's,
like ice cream, isn't it?
I know, is it creamy or is it more like, is it like a sherbet?
It
Is
looks
it,
more like a sherbet to me.
yeah.
I don't think I've had it.
When we're at Mandalay Bay,
Hmm.
you know, as we go up and down the elevator, we go past that place every time,
Oh yeah.
right there on the corner
Yeah,
before
the
we go
one down
around
on the bottom.
I've always thought about stopping there and never have. And so,
Yeah.
hmm,
Yeah, so that was really good. And plus I just like supporting a new business that's getting up and running and they seem to be doing well there. There's always people in there when I've been in there and
that's across from Auto. Okay, so
it's
I'll
across but down the block. So
so if I get some when I'm at Auto Otter, I have to go out and get it.
yeah,
But it's
I
just down
can
the
run
block.
down and get it for you though. I'd be happy to,
It's easy for me to skirt
right?
on there. So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. Did you watch anything good?
yes, I've been watching this show on HBO Max, which is now just called Max. They just
Okay.
changed it like yesterday, and it's called Love and Death. And
Okay.
it's been a mini series, and it's about a true story that I'm aware of the story
Okay.
of these like church ladies, and one of them has an affair with the other one's husband, and one of them ends up murdering the other one.
Oh
And
wow.
so I watched like the first maybe 2 or 3 by myself, and then I sucked Dave into it. So he's been watching it with me every week. Well, the new one, which might be the last one, comes out today.
Hmm.
Probably out. So it's really
Okay.
good. Yeah, it's good.
Hmm.
Love and Death. I highly recommend Love and Death. The other one that I would recommend people see is on HBO Max. God, what's it called? Somebody Somewhere? Something like
Everything,
that.
everywhere, all at once?
No, but it's Bridget Everett. You know
Oh,
Bridget Everett?
no.
She's a big blonde woman, and she used to tour with Amy Schumer.
Is she the one
And
who had the diary?
What?
She the one who they had the movie about her diary?
No. She's very ballsy, kind of burlesque type woman. But anyway,
Okay.
it's a really good show. And in the show, she has a gay bestie.
Oh.
Except he's really ugly. He's not handsome like you. So,
Aw.
but I do think of you when I watch it. So, have you
No,
watched anything good?
I
Like The
haven't watched
Shining or anything?
TV. I haven't even, so I turned on my TV 2 nights ago and I was gonna watch either Close Encounters of the Third Kind, because someone told me I needed to watch that. I haven't watched that. Or a show called Pushing 10. Another show I haven't watched because a friend of mine is retired, but he was one of those air traffic control that sat at the desk in the room, which apparently is what the guy did in Pushing 10. So like, oh, watch that movie, you'll have an idea of what I did. But he says, or you could watch Close Encounters of the Third Time. There's a couple scenes that feature it. And I'm like, okay, well, I haven't seen either of those, but I watched the trailer for Pushing 10 enough to get the idea of what he does. So now I don't need to watch the movie.
You know, I was making all those faces at you and going like this
No, why?
because I keep telling you to watch The Shining, and you're like contemplating watching his show, but not
No.
mine.
So here's the deal. I looked up The Shining and it also was not in my playlist of options to watch yet. So one of these days, maybe I'll even pay to watch it.
What do you mean? You don't have a channel that gets it? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like because I have Netflix, which I'm about to cancel.
I think you can't. You watch it on YouTube.
Oh, I don't know. I'll try that. I have because I have my things that I watch TV on are either Prime or Netflix. And I'm about to cancel Netflix because I haven't watched anything on there, I think, in over a
It's
month.
kind of sucky right now, I think.
Yeah, and I'm spending $11 a month on Netflix and for no reason. So if I would cancel that, I would save 100 and some bucks a year. And so I'm considering just canceling that. I used to do it where I would have Prime for 3 months and then I would cancel that, and then I would have Netflix for 3 months and I cancel that, and every 3 months would be enough that you wouldn't lose your history. But I'm just kind of like, I think I might just give it the good old see you later.
Yeah.
Save myself the money. And also it makes me really think if I want to watch something, if I have to sign back up for the service to
Right.
so
Yeah. All right. You know what
I
I want to talk about now? Are you done talking about that? Sorry.
I have nothing more to say about that. What would
Okay.
you like to talk about now?
I want to finish talking about the social media addiction thing that we've been talking about. Because it's time to move on to the next step of our little so many steps.
Hey. Yes, let's
So
do it.
have you been paying attention to how much social media you're doing?
I haven't been very good at that. I'm pulling up my report right now to see.
All right. So I looked at mine, and what I did was I set mine for a 4 hours a day goal.
Okay.
Which sounds like a lot, but I was doing well over 6.
Okay. Sure.
So out of this week, it was like half of the times I made my goal of being under 4 hours, and half the time I didn't. So I think that's pretty good for first full week of trying to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. So then the next step of this is to really realize your mood when you get on there, and how often are you really doing this to soothe yourself?
Okay.
And then to come up with a list of things that when you feel that mood, do this instead.
Okay. Yeah.
Like if you're using social media to make yourself feel better, and then it ends up making you feel like shit, you're defeating your purpose. So let's do this instead.
So instead I could like eat ice cream.
Well, Now, isn't that weird? Do you notice how all of a sudden my face is a different color? I think it's just the lighting just changed enough and now I'm pinker.
I thought you were just chewing some of that like gum that has all the full meal in it, and then you got to the
Like
strawberry part.
Veruca Salt, wasn't that her name?
Maybe. I think Veruca was the golden one. That was Violet.
Violet.
Violet, you're turning violet. Violet?
Yeah, that's right. Um,
Violet Beauregard.
so I'm gonna make a list right
Down to
now.
Sam Beauregard's. I'll show you a deal and I'll get you in the car, your choice. Right down here, Sam Beauregard's.
I apparently opened a vault that I didn't know was even there.
Anyway, you were about to say.
I'm gonna make a list right now and I hope you'll join me of
Yes.
things that I'm going to do. So first, I'm just really gonna pay attention, like, am I getting on this because I'm why? Because I'm bored, because I need to actually do something. Why am I getting on? And then when I realize that, then I'm going to have this list ready of things to do instead. Like some people say,
Alternatives
read a
and
book.
social.
I don't read freaking books.
Okay.
I should, but I just don't. So I'm not
What
going
about
to do
listening to a book? Would that help
that.
or
I don't know. No, but then what am I supposed to do while I'm listening? Play on my computer, look at Facebook while I listen. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's really, for me, I feel like I need to be doing two things at a time.
Okay, so
Or I need to be like hands and eyes. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
There's
the thing with me with like audiobooks, I like them, but I like them if I'm cleaning house or if I'm
or if
driving.
you're driving or
I
something,
can't
yeah.
sit still and listen to an
Just
audiobook.
sit and listen to a book, right?
That's true.
So I
Okay.
don't think that would work for me. But now this for me, I'm gonna say my
Mhm.
problem is with Facebook because it's on Facebook where I compare myself to other comedians and see why is
Okay.
everybody else getting booked and I'm not. It makes me feel like shit. So I'm gonna just say my problem is with Facebook solely.
Okay.
I think it's okay if I'm on Facebook and it's making me feel like shit to go over to TikTok because I only watch TikTok for entertainment.
Okay.
What
There
do you
you
think
go.
of that?
Well, I think it's good to notice to be aware of the difference. And especially if you're watching TikTok and you're truly watching the things that are positive, because the algorithm, if you started watching stuff that wasn't, and then it would take you into that spiral. But if you are feeling good,
TikTok is totally uplifting.
yeah.
It's either comedy, very small amount of comedy. Matt Rife and Nate Jackson takes up a good portion of my, and then
Right.
there's the animal rescuer guy,
I
and
almost
then,
sent you a
and
Matt
then the
Rife video the other day.
lesbians.
Okay.
What?
I almost sent you a Matt Rife video the other day that was fucking hilarious.
I'm sure I've already seen it.
I'll have to ask you
But
about
yeah, and
it.
I've got lots of lesbians and trans people on my,
Okay.
but they're all like good. I like them all. I don't have anyone on there that I
Well, it's good for you
don't.
to explore that side.
TikTok is
So
positive.
so switching to a different platform, because like some people, maybe Instagram is their positive thing because it's mostly pictures, like it could be something whatever. But so yes, a positive thing, I'm writing that down, a positive online interaction. What about maybe a picture book? If you don't like to read, like like a nice big coffee table book, or about the Beatles or Elvis or
Oh, I do have a book I've been meaning to read. That's like the whole breakdown of all the Beatles albums.
yeah.
Okay, I'll pull out my Beatles book. Thank you.
Uh-huh. See, I wasn't completely being a smart ass. And I
Thank
know that it's that time of year and where scooter rides can be a thing. And it doesn't
you.
have to be like a 2-hour thing. I'm trying to be better about, like, I don't have to have an hour to go on a jog. I could do one lap around the park and it's 15 minutes, and like the other day I went to the parkway to get some work done and I wanted to get outside because it was nice out, but I actually had a lot of computer work I had to get done. And I remember saying, I'm going to go walk once around the park and then I'll go to the parkway and get some work done. And it just was enough to put some life in.
Yes, yeah, fresh air. That's good.
It's hard because I feel like there's things that if we do them all the way, it can be exhausting to think about starting the task. Like if I go if I want to go to the waterfront and sit there for 4 hours or whatever, it's like, well, that's going to be a big thing. But I
Right.
stop by the waterfront and sit there for 15 minutes before I go to work. And I could fit that into my day, and it would just give enough life and hope without it being
Right.
pack a picnic lunch and go in the water or anything.
I can put music on my list because I pretty much quit listening to music since Noah died. But lately I've been able to kind of, well, because sometimes you don't
Yeah.
know what you're going to hear, but
Yeah,
I can make my own playlists that I know are safe for me to listen to.
that's fair.
And,
You know what's interesting?
What?
When I was in the worst part of my depressing times, I had 3 different playlists. Well, I had multiple, but 3 in particular. One I just called depression. And like, if I wanted to sit in that depressive state, I would just play these songs and they would keep me miserable. And then I had another one that I called hope. And I was feeling a little bit better, but it was a little bit uplifting. And then there was a playlist called all good things, and it was just really positive. And if I was really depressed and I played the all good things playlist, it actually made me more depressed because it was like just rubbing in my face that I don't feel that way, if that makes sense.
Really?
It's like, well, I can't appreciate or enjoy that. I'm sad right now. However, there were
I don't mean to laugh. Sorry.
no, but it's true.
Yeah.
But there were certain songs that I actually had in all 3 playlists because the song would mean something different depending on my mindset, and I would focus in on a different part. Like one song, like there's a song from Brother Bear. It's a Phil Collins song. It's like, there's no way out of this dark place. And if I was listening to that in my depressive mind, I'd be focusing on that part of the song. And then it kind of moves on to this, I can see a hope, I can see a future. And so in my hopeful playlist, I could focus more on that part of the song. And then kind of by the end of the song, he's moving out to like, I've made it, I can see it. And so I could listen to that same song and feel differently about it. And there were a few songs like that were interesting to me, that I could listen to the same song but have it affect me differently depending on my mindset.
You know what I think is a really feel-good song every freaking time?
What's that?
Lovely Day by Bill Withers. I love that song.
Lovely day. Love that one?
Yeah.
Such a lovely day.
I'll put that on. I'm going to write that
That's a
specifically.
good song. What about
Okay.
Feeling Groovy? Do 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 do. Feeling
know.
groovy. No,
Well,
not your type.
I like that song, but I'm not that old anymore. I'm getting younger now as I get older.
I love that. I love that.
It's so funny. The other night at Odd Otter, that I don't know, I don't think you were standing there. This lady says to me, the first lady that bought me a drink first thing.
Oh yeah.
Was like, "You're 62? No way." She goes, "If I were to guess, I think you were maybe like 53." And I was like, that doesn't even feel like a compliment.
Right. You could at least go to 48. Like, just go down at least to start with a 4.
That's funny. But the kid says today to me, "Just remember, Miss Cheri, you're not getting older, you're getting better." All right, thank you. Anyway.
Children. So
Okay, so right there, I have 4 things that I can do instead of jumping on Facebook if I feel like shit.
Me
I can
too.
watch TikTok, read my Beatles book, go on a scooter ride, or listen to Lovely Day by Bill Withers.
There you go. Yeah.
And I make it simple like that. Like, if that Facebook's making me feel bad, we're going to do this instead.
Got options. I like that.
All right.
And I think it's kind of a neat thing to think about taking the list, because I have 4 things down too, which are pretty much the same things, except for the Beatles book. I have similar things, but I think just the idea of switching what you're trying to do, like just moving your mindset, but then also taking the list and every week be like, is there one more thing I can put on the list? Or, am I done looking at the Beatles book enough that maybe I'll look at it again in a couple months, but maybe I want to put something different in that slot.
Right. Because I mean, I still am going to have to do Facebook because I'm going to have to do some comedy things and business things on it. But then maybe I don't have to live there.
Yeah. And here's another trick, and maybe this is coming up in one of the steps, but this is something I should probably be better about, because I've done this in the past and it's helped me, was to if I'm doing something that I know I could get lost in or go down the rabbit hole, is before I start to set a timer or an alarm for 15, 20 minutes, whatever. So it's like, okay, when that alarm goes off, I am pulling out of that headspace and I have the escape plan in mind because maybe I know that 20 minutes or half an hour is the longest that I want to be in that space.
Mhm.
And there's one thing, like scientifically, when you set an alarm, it triggers like a sense of urgency in your brain. So like I've done that with writing. When I sit down to write and I'll purposefully I'm trying to get writing done, I'll set an alarm for an hour. And it makes me actually use the hour better because my brain then goes, I've got to get this done in the next hour. So I can't let anything interrupt it. And then it makes me more efficient in my writing. And so
All
then it
right,
makes
so if you guys that are watching, are having any kind of problem with being on a website or just social media period too much, or you find that it's making you feel bad, you can do this with us. Come up with a list of 4 things that you can do instead when you notice social media is making you feel crappy.
yeah.
Oh, I
Let
could
us
have
know what
put,
your 4 things are, one of your 4 things, or what works.
I could also put making sweet love to my husband too. He's gonna wonder, like, why does she keep hitting on me? It's like, because Facebook makes me feel like shit. That's why.
Like, stop using me for a distraction from social media.
I keep trying not to show my shirt because I just wear this last week or the week before.
I don't remember, but I've been seeing it.
Sorry.
I'm curious if people have, and I'd love to see it in a comment, if there is a particular social media outlet that is harder for you to get on, is one or the other more negative, like Cheri mentioned, Facebook being more toxic for her than TikTok. And some people might feel that way about Instagram because it's people with filters and all that stuff. Like, is there one that is more positive or more negative? Let us know either way.
Right.
And that could be different for everybody depending on what group.
Right. And just how you use your social media, it's not the same for everyone.
Sure, sure.
Some people just use it to like hook up with friends and family and see how everybody is. Oh, that would be a positive thing. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that the pandemic kind of ruined that for everybody, but maybe it's just me.
Perhaps.
Okay. So we talked about what we watched, what we ate. We have this, our show next month. Might as well start promoting it now. Our show at Odd Otter. Let's just say if you want to go, get your tickets now because we're almost halfway sold out, and
And
it's
it's
still
not
a
even a
month
month.
away.
It's still further than a month away. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
think
so
tomorrow
we've
is
got
one. Yeah.
Monica Nevi headlining. It's our
Mhm.
Pride show, if I didn't already say that.
Yeah.
Andy Vargo featuring, we've got Juno Man and Tamber Massman on it. So it's going to be a great, really strong
It's gonna be
Pride show. There are friends of mine that are going to it that
nice.
have never been to any of my shows
Wow.
that might not even know that I'm producing this. I don't know because I'm not on the poster. So
Well,
that will be interesting.
if we need to let you tell a joke, so your friends can say they heard you tell a joke.
I'm just going to get up there and say, don't worry, I'm getting off the stage. I'm straight. I just want you to know, if you need anything during the show, I put this bitch together. Here's the host. I'm going to get out of the way now.
There you go.
So anyway, it's going to be a great show.
Yeah. And speaking of jokes and you're telling jokes, let's just celebrate the success of your reel that's just taken off.
I know we're at 66.6 last time I checked. 1,000. That is not just 66.
Yeah.
Well, it was funny because, remember how it was just skyrocketing there for a while. And
Yeah.
then it kind of leveled out and I thought, okay, it's done. And then it just started going again. So
Yeah, 'cause I feel like it got to about 35 and you're like, oh, I think it might be somewhere around there. You're like, I think it might be kind of past its big oomph. And now it's double that just
I know
about.
we were going like, well, maybe we can get it to 50 and then stop. And then now it just, no, it's great. That's actually great.
So that's
And
super.
I'm
And
very
you picked
happy.
up so many. How many followers did you get just from that one reel essentially?
Over 600 new followers from one reel.
That's amazing.
So that's really good. And it has almost 2,000 likes too. So
That's the thing that's fun to see too, is not just the views, but it's showing that the people who are watching it are liking it, because sometimes you get, I don't know what the ratio is on engagement per views, because it's not very high. You could have 100 views and get only a couple likes, or
right.
which is typical. Or maybe I'm just not putting out good content. I don't know. I think that's pretty normal, though. I see that on other people's stuff where they have 1 million views and 10,000 likes. It's most
Right.
people are not engaging.
And I got to remember too, because a lot of times I look at stuff and think, oh, that's cool. And then I'll go, wait a minute, did I like that because I think how
Yeah,
that feels to work so hard on your content and then nobody says or does anything about it. You'll hear later that they saw it and you're like, well,
right.
so I try to remember to do that, to do for other people what I would like them to do for me. So
Yeah, I try to do that too, like and comment. I've been trying to comment more and share, but I commented, I was watching someone's live video earlier today, which I rarely do, but it's somebody who I really have liked seeing their content, and they were
right.
live. I thought, I'm just going to watch them for a couple minutes and see what they do. And they're really good about not just doing the what's everybody doing, I'm sitting here checking,
Right.
and they were doing kind of playing a trivia game. And so he posted a trivia question, and that someone in the audience would ask a question, he'd use that as a trivia, then he'd give the answer. But I commented on something and he was like, "Own Your Awkward, that is the coolest screen name." And he went on for a good 15 or 30 seconds about, that's how I got to where I am today. I own my awkward. And he's just going on, and it's
Oh,
he has
cool.
6 million followers on TikTok. And it's somebody that I was already planning to invite on my podcast.
Right.
And so now when I message him in the next couple days,
He's going to remember. You
he's gonna
should
be
do
like,
that today.
yeah, I'm planning to do that today, actually.
Yeah.
But it is one of
Reminder.
those things where it's like, having that happen, then other people who are watching, I don't know how many
Right.
thousand people were on this live video. I think there was maybe 1,000 or 2,000 people watching him. They all hear that. And so now that's marketing for me. And I don't know how many times people do this, where if you see you're following a friend, and then you look at the comments and who's commenting, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, who's that person? Or what's that? I don't recognize them. And then you click on them. And that's
Mm-hmm.
the power of commenting, because you don't necessarily see it as much when you like something. So if you are trying to grow a brand, it's really important to comment on other people's content, because it puts you more in the forefront of a bigger audience. Plus, it helps, the algorithm favors comments for seeing it as engagement.
Cool. I know some guy told me on that, did I tell you this on that video? Oh, this is an old joke. My heart attack grill bit. And I'm like, I go, how is this an old joke? I usually don't answer anybody, but I was
Yeah.
like, how is this an old joke? I heard it a long time ago. I'm like, oh, you heard a story about when I went to the heart attack grill
Uh-huh.
and had a burger? Like, you already heard this a long time ago? That's weird.
Uh-huh. I'd be like, thanks for coming to one of my shows. That's funny.
Funny.
Yeah, I know. There's every once in a while, I usually don't engage with anything negative. Every once in a while, you get somewhere, I'm just like, I just got to play this out, and not, if you can do it in a way where it doesn't irritate you or get offended. Like, I posted the joke when they were rationing eggs, and I posted the video of Fred Meyer of the sign. It said limit 3 eggs per person, and I just was like, they're all packaged by at least a dozen. How am I supposed to only get 3? And people were commenting on my YouTube like, they mean 3 boxes and blah blah. And someone was like, this guy must be really stupid. And I was like, oh, am I? Do you think so? Am I the dumb one? Just like, really? And then the guy was like, they mean 3 boxes. I was like, no, it says 3 eggs. It's very clear. like I'm just gonna play this out. But
That's
usually
funny.
I don't even, but it's sometimes it's just kind of fun.
All right, I'm going to Nate Jackson late show Sunday night.
Nice.
He's headlining his own club all weekend.
Oh, awesome.
So I see a lot of our friends are getting asked to do guest spots and stuff. So that's
Cool.
cool. I don't know who's going to be going up Sunday night, but I will be there. I'm just going by myself for my own little birthday. You know, for all of us to go out together, it gets expensive.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I don't mind partying by myself. So if anybody wants to go to Nate's late show, go and I'll
Everybody
meet up
wants
with
to
you.
party with Cheri.
Yeah, yeah. At midnight, I turned 62. So, all right.
Whew.
I think we're ready.
All right, it's been a blast.
It has.
Ta-ta.
Just flew by. Yeah, be sure to comment. Tell us about your social media stories and stuff like that, because we would love to comment on them.
Definitely
Right.
do that.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Be sure to wave like a dork, Andy.